Hello, this is Suzanne. Thank you for joining the Social Media Monday Facebook call. We're so glad that everybody's a part of this event, and we are going to get started again. We did have all of the lines muted, but we are not going to do that so that we can hear all of our presenters. If you could please go ahead and mute your line so that we don't hear any noise from the background of your office. If you don't have a mute button, please press *0. And I'm going to ask Michelle Bond, who is our project manager, to restart and join us in leading this event.
Thank you, Suzanne. Welcome again, everyone. Thanks for your patience as we iron out some of the technical difficulties around the phone line. As Suzanne said, this is Social Media Monday, the second in our series of workshops, and we're really excited that you are all joining us today. Just to take a second and go through who we'll be hearing from. As Suzanne said, my name is Michelle Bond. I'm the project manager at Campaign Consultation for the Vista Outreach Initiatives. We're also delighted to have Elizabeth Matthews with us, the Vista Alumni Outreach and Support Specialist from the corporation. Danielle Ricks, who is our social media specialist here at Campaign Consultation, and Stephanie Ross, who is our e-project specialist at Campaign Consultation. And I'm going to turn it over to Elizabeth Matthews. Liz, are you on the call?
I am. Miracle.
There
I
you
do
go.
think it's a bit ironic that we're, so trying to be so hip with the Facebook, but of course we always still have challenges, which is understandable. This is just the age that we live in. So welcome everybody. We're thrilled actually to be having this call today, which is focusing, of course, on Facebook. We have just launched our new pages for the Vista alumni and for Vista members. So we are more than excited to present this to you all today, and look forward to showing you the new tricks and getting your feedback. So welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. Glad you got through as well. And as I mentioned, just briefly for those of you who weren't able to join us on our first Social Media Monday session last month on Twitter, this is part of a series of workshops that we'll be doing monthly, the fourth Monday of each month, in hopes to really have a chance to have Vista-specific questions and projects highlighted through new media, and have guests who are not only familiar with Vista, but often Vistas themselves, as we have today, who are using these new tools to do their work and their projects. So we're really glad to have you with us. And Danielle Ricks is going to get us started.
Hello, everybody. So I want to go over the agenda for today. We're going to introduce our Vistas, who are our guests, and they're going to give us some case studies. Then we're going to talk about how to use Vista for individuals and organizations. We're going to review some common Facebook terms that may have you a little confused out there in Facebook land. And then we're going to do group pages first versus fan pages. And it will be a hands-on Facebook strategies. And then we'll preview two of our Vista Facebook pages. We're really excited about that. You're going to get your ta-da preview today. So we're excited about that. All right. Now I'm going to turn it over to Michelle, who's going to walk you through a poll.
Thanks, Danielle. As you can see, hopefully on the lower right-hand quadrant of your screen there, we've opened a poll, and we just want to get a sense of where everybody on the call is today, so we can make sure that we're hitting the right mark with Facebook users. So if you just take a couple minutes couple seconds really, to just answer those questions, and once we have all the results in, we'll return to that and just give a sense of where everyone's at.
Okay, great. And if we can advance the slide, we may not be able to yet. There we go, great. So joining us on the call are our two Vistas. Michelle, why don't you go ahead and introduce them for us?
Sure. We are thrilled to have Robin Stegman with us and Allie Keeney. And Robin, can you just tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm at the Michigan Community Service Commission, and particularly what I do is I work with Learn and Serve Michigan to help expand service learning in high-poverty communities.
Thank you. We look forward to hearing from you. And we also have Allie Keeney with us. Allie?
Hi, yes, I work for Volunteer Frederick as the Youth Service Coordinator and Volunteer Frederick is a volunteer agency for the county, and I work in the youth department helping finding service projects and planning them for the youth.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us, Allie. Okay, we can go ahead and advance the slide. And Robin, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you use Facebook in your service. So talk to me, how do you use Facebook?
Well, we use Facebook mainly as an outreach tool. So we really use it to kind of contact people who may not have thought of service learning but are involved in schools, are ready, and also our grantees, so they can invite their friends and be able to say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing, this is the program I'm working with. And the people who come to our Facebook get to learn a little bit more about what service learning is, resources about service learning, and really what Learning Serve Michigan in particular does to advance service learning.
Okay, great. And there are actually three kinds of Facebook pages you can have. There's your personal page, there's a group page, and then there is a regular page. So what I'd like to do is turn right over to you now, Robin, and for you to take us on a tour of your personal Facebook page, and then we're going to compare that with the organization page, and you'll explain to us what the difference is.
Great.
So
Robin is now driving the train.
All right. So I believe everybody should see right now my personal Facebook page. And the big difference between this allows my friends and people I know to contact me as a person. So every once in a while I'll post up things about my service, but mainly it's a way for people to get in contact with me. I'm going to move over to Learn and Serve Michigan, which is a Facebook page. So this is for our organization. So it really reflects what we're doing as an organization. I'm not going to post what I did last night or how I'm feeling today or that I need more coffee. I'm going to post things about, our kneeing page, or I'm going to post, things about this web shop we're doing, or our service learning awards, as you can see, kind of in our posts here, are a little different. And so people who want to contact Learning Serve Michigan about, particular service learning can do it on this page versus having to contact me personally.
And can you come down on your page a little bit? Because I see that there's some original posts from you, and then you're doing posts from some other organizations. Tell me how that helps with Learn and Serve when you're doing posts from, for instance, I just saw Youth Service America, the Corporation for Community Service. Tell me how this helps when you're doing these other posts.
Yeah, well, we're really about sharing resources and not reinventing the wheel. And so for us, it really helps our grantees and it helps other people to see what's out there and get familiarity with service learning resources out there. And for instance, there's things like for Youth Service America, we're posting about a grant opportunity there. And obviously, we're not going to be able to fully 100% fund what our grantees or what other teachers are doing. But we're lucky to have organizations out there like Youth Service America that's willing to offer grants for certain projects or, like different, and we want to spread news about the corporation and other things they're doing. So it's really a way not just to post our original stuff, but to tip them off to some great things happening in other parts of the sector.
That is such good advice, Robin. Thank you. Can you come up on the page a little bit?
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to remind everyone to please put their line on mute so that we don't hear anything going on in your office during this presentation. If you don't have a mute button, if you please press *0, that will automatically mute your line. Thank you for your help in this.
So I wanted to show folks a few things, and one is your photo album. And sharing photos is a great way to get information out about your organization. And tell me about this particular album that's loading now.
This is loading now. This is, hopefully it won't take too long. This is from our grantee meeting, and so we get all of the schools that we give grants out to come, and they, so we have a weekend of them. So we posted pictures from our grantee meeting of some of our grantees, giving presentations, and we do this funny thing where they have to show parts of service with their hands. So we have a lot of funny photos of people looking out into the crowd and things like that. So it allows us to first show what our grantees are doing, but also for our grantees, it personalizes it because, they can see photos of them on our Facebook page.
Right. And if we could go back to your homepage, the other thing I wanted to point out was some of the other organizations. In addition to people being your fans, you had made favorites some pages. And talk to me about that. How does a Vista who's out there in their service organization pick what pages they want to be favorites of and what advantages that?
Yeah, so for us, one of the things we do is at the Michigan Community Service Commission, we don't just run Learn and Serve Michigan, but we also do Michigan AmeriCorps and Mentor Michigan. So one of the things is able to connect what Learn and Serve Michigan is doing with other initiatives in our office. But the second thing it does is that we partner with a lot of organizations locally in Michigan and nationally. So Learn and Serve Michigan is, one subsidiary, Learn and Serve America, so we can put their Facebook page up there. But also we have Lake Orion Community Schools right here is one of our grantees, and they have a great service learning page. And the box is a great professional development tool that was developed by one of our grantees. So we can connect with our grantees on a different level with our favorite pages.
So you guys are really making the most out of your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Very impressive. We're going to follow that model. Okay, we're going to grab rights back from you. And then I want to give the folks in the chat room an opportunity to ask questions of Robin, if you have some questions for her. And in the meantime, let's take a look at the poll result, what you guys think about what you want to ask Robin. Waiting for the rights to come back, so give us just a minute.
Okay, it looks like we have well over 50% of you are using Facebook, and a number of you are using it for your Vista work, the majority. Well, looks like about half and half. And let me see what else we have here. That you're using it, the majority of you are using it for other reasons, but that the volunteer recruitment and organizing events are the two largest reasons that you're using it in your Vista projects.
Right, we're going to address both of those in this workshop. So great polling out there, guys. We've got a good mix. So Michelle's been keeping an eye on the chat room. Michelle, do we have any questions for myself or for Robin or for anybody on the phone?
We do. Let's see here. We have a question from Lauren Williams. How do you fan other pages?
Yeah, when you're on a fan page, you'll see at the bottom of the under the icon for the page, there's a icon that says favorite the page. So it's a different terminology. It's called favorite the page, and you'll click on that, and it will ask you which one of your pages that you administer do you want to favorite it, and then you just choose that and press OK.
So we're going to try to see if we can get the rights back to you, Robin, and then you can show.
Yeah, I can show.
And then we'll go to another question. Anything else?
In the interim, here's a great question. I'm not sure who it's from. Robin, what strategies did you use to get more fans on your page? Oh, I'm sorry. This is from Renee Watson of the Idaho Hunger Relief Task Force.
Yeah, we used one of our great strategies that we did was a initiative called 125 by 12-5. So it's 120. So it just looks like 125 by 125. And it was an initiative we had to get 125 fans by December 5th. So it was kind of a cool thing. We just actually hit our today actually hit our goals. So we're raffling off to one of our fans that fan us by 5 o'clock today. We'll get we'll get a tote bag and a guide to service learning from our organization. So that's one thing we've done. We've also really encouraged a lot of people in our office to fan us and have their friends fan us, which has helped us get to that number. But the initiative has really kind of got people fired up about fanning us on Facebook.
Okay, Robin, and you have the ball now.
Okay.
If you would like to go ahead and take over the desktop, and we can show people how to fan. And in the meantime, is there another question, Michelle?
Yeah, there are lots of great questions.
Yay.
And also, just so everyone knows, if we don't get to them all on the call, we definitely will be able to address your question both on the Vista campus and also through Twitter feed. So we'll give you those links at the end here. But let's see. Lots of questions about setting up organizational pages. And also, here's one, are there any advantages to having just a personal page over an organization page?
Okay, and I'm going to let you go ahead and show them the fan button, and then I'll speak to a little bit the difference between the personal page and the organizational page and the differences between
Okay.
messages.
So I just zoomed over to, let's say you want to fan the ASPCA. So you'll see right here, I'm going to highlight it. It says Add to My Page's Favorites. You're just going to click on that. This button is going to load, and it will say Add ASPCA for Favorites for, and I'm going to go down and select Learn and Serve Michigan. And then once I save it, it will become my favorite page. So.
And then if you guys look on the top, you'll see a little button that says Become a Fan, and it's just that simple. It's that easy to become a fan. You just click on the little button, and automatically you're a fan. And what that does is that gives you an update for the threads. So anything that the ASPCA posts will then become a part of your homepage. And so we're going to go ahead and grab rights back from Robin. And I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about a personal page versus your organizational page. And on your personal page, that's where you're going to connect with friends and family. But as a Vista, know that you are representing your organization at times as well. And at any time, someone can do a search on you and look at your personal page. Your organization page is where you're going to be posting events and promoting your organization specifically. So as Robin said, you're not going to talk about what you had for breakfast. You're not going to talk about where you were last night. You are going to talk about events, the mission of your organization, any fundraising that you want to do. It is strictly corporate, and it is absolutely business, and that's what you're going to use your organizational page for. And it is a great way to connect with other Vistas, other national service organizations, and also to get the word out about your particular organization and to build your brand online. So that's probably the biggest difference. Okay, we're going to advance, and we're going to bring in Allie now. Hi, Allie.
Hello.
Okay, so Allie, what advice would you give other Vistas just starting out on Facebook? I know you just started out yourself, so you're rather new, but you're successful thus far, even though it's only been a few months. So tell us how you got started.
Well, when I first took over responsibility of running our Facebook page, I made a Facebook folder in our server, and what I would do, I sent out an email to all of my coworkers asking them to update this folder every month with upcoming events. So then I will know what to share about on Facebook, and this way I wouldn't miss anything. And this really helps so you don't have to go from coworker to coworker asking them about different events. Because when I first started it, like, my coworkers were coming to me being like, oh, did you post this? No, did you post that? And I just didn't know that those things were happening. So having, like, a folder that just says, like, what's all coming, it's very helpful.
Right. So what you're basically saying is you organize the people in your office, and if they want you to add an event, if they want to add something special to the Facebook page, you created content management, a way of keeping up with it without them coming at you with one-off in terms of the things that they want you to post about the organization, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you also talked about you participated in Make a Difference Day via Facebook. Can you talk to me about that?
Yes, for Make a Difference Day, that was basically for our youth members.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did was we planted trees and made a rain garden, and through Facebook I advertised, I made an event for it and just let people know to come to Make a Difference Day.
Great. And your fans have grown quite a bit in just a couple of weeks, correct?
Yeah, because when I first came on, we just had like a profile page, and then I made a fan page, and it's like we have a lot of fans now. So.
Do you allow fans to post videos and pictures on their own? Cheryl Curry is in the chat room, and she said some of the higher-ups think that it's inappropriate to allow fans to post photos, and they may make negative comments, and that's what's giving them the excuse not to use Facebook. how much of a restriction do you put on your page? And by the way, folks on the call, that's going to vary from organization to organization. Serve.gov is just information. You can't add photos. You can't add even comments. But then there's some organizations that are going to open up their page and will allow you to add comments and photos and videos, and others may do a variation of that. So for you, Robin, what do you all do for your page?
We're pretty open about sharing. We have yet had a problem. I think one of the things that we really did when we started a Facebook page was make it clear to the members of the board and their people in our office what social media means and why we really encourage participation and really what behind that. And I find it's a current problem that we see pop up. It's a problem that we have with our teachers at schools is they're not even allowed to access Facebook during school time.
That's a good point.
So that, it's something they have to do on their own hours. So, for them, one of the things we've equipped them is success stories of nonprofits and success stories of kind of great examples of why we need Facebook and why they need to engage in Facebook so that they can take to their technology people and say, hey, this isn't this scary thing that you heard about on CNN. It's this great resource and a great way to access all of these new resources, so why aren't we on it yet?
That is a great point. Thank you so much for doing that. We can go ahead and advance the slide. We talked a little bit about connecting, building your network, connecting with supporters, and connecting with other organizations. So if you're in the chat room, I would love to hear from you about how you build your network, connect with supporters, or connect with other organizations. Allie and Robin spoke to that a little bit. We can go ahead and advance the slide. Michelle's going to keep an eye out on the chat and bring our attention to any suggestions you may have out there. And the other thing about Facebook is you have an opportunity to share your story. You get to share information, if you so choose, to share photos and videos, and to start a discussion. So let me ask you, Robin, what's the last discussion that you started on Facebook that you thought was very successful and got a lot of feedback?
One of the discussions we started on Facebook was an interesting one on, we actually engaged with people from Learn and Serve Arizona about making service learning awards. We've had a service learning award. I think this is our third year, and we had somebody from Arizona comment on it and say, hey, we'd love to do this. And so in our conversation, other people jumped on and thought, oh, this is a great idea. So we were really able to kind of take this idea and expand it just because of somebody else had commented on Facebook, and we were able to have that discussion.
Right. I see that Sharon Gavin is in the chat room, and she's the Marketing and Funds Development Coordinator with Oregon's volunteers. And she had a great story for me, and that was that when she started her Facebook page, she did it in secret. And before she knew it, she had 25 fans, and she had done no publicity whatsoever. And she uses it to share information and to let people know what's happening in her town. And she uses email via the website for weekly messaging as well. And she's looking for new ways to do some messaging about Martin Luther King Day, and we're going to get her that information. And so, Sharon, I know you're in the chat room. If you have some points you'd like to share, or if you'd like some advice from our visitors on the phone, please let us know, and we'll make sure that we get to it. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about, or next to the last thing I want to talk about, is fundraising and how you can personalize your page to do as much possible in terms of fundraising. This is about promoting. You can email everyone you know, and then you can give out the URL for your Facebook page. You can do updates on your page daily and let people know what it is that you are doing. Fundraise strategically. You can start out with a modest fundraising goal and then offer donors a chance to win a prize. All those kind of things can be done through your viral campaign on Facebook. And we can go ahead and promote. Advance the slide. Branding is really important. When you start to think about your group page and what you want to do, in addition to your logo, it's how you want to represent yourself in the digital space, the organization in the digital space, and making sure that you stay true to your mission and true to your brand. So starting with your mission statement is a great place to begin, and from there you can start to build your page based upon the mission of your organization. I suggest that you update your status regularly. I know that for the Vista page, our member page, they love quotes. So quotes are a good way to get a conversation started. And one of the final things that you can do to really get some energy going is organize an event. Anything in the chat room, Michelle, that we need to talk about now?
Well, someone has a good question that I think ties in with the branding piece, which is, what would you suggest if an organization has created an account as an individual rather than an organization? Is it okay to change, or should you leave it as is?
Absolutely, it's okay to change, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. In fact, our Vista page was started one particular way. We weren't searchable. We were not necessarily in the group that we wanted to be in, and we are taking that page down, and we are setting up a new, highly functional page with great applications, extremely interactive. And Elizabeth and Stephanie Ross are going to tell you a little bit about that later on. So in answer to your question, yes, it's okay to do a do-over. Peace Corps has done a do-over. We're doing a do-over. You do have to be concerned about your communication and making sure that you have a migration plan to bring all of your fans, or at that point they would be friends, over to your new page. So it has to be strategic, but it is absolutely something that you can do. And now Michelle's going to go over some tips for your page.
Thanks, Danielle. So from your comments and Robin and Allie's participation, I think we have a good mix of information, and here are just a few things that you might think about as you're working your page. I know lots of people have set up pages or in the process of setting up pages based on the chat, and it looks like we're all looking for ways to keep people engaged and to grow our community. So in order to do that, obviously inviting as many people as you can. Think really about who your stakeholders are throughout your organization, and invite all of them, from board members to community members, partners, and grantees. Really the way to get a good mix of people who really represent your organization engaged on your page. That, in turn, does make it interesting, along with comments, information about what different groups are working on, if there's a new initiative or if there was a specific event. All of these things help to really give people the flavor of what your project is about and who you are. They also see ways that they might be able to get involved. For instance, there could be organizations that you're just a fan of because you like the organization, and as you get updates from them, as you see the activity going on the wall, you begin to see how you might be able to become more involved in their mission. Obviously, by keeping a pretty active page, you get to give people updates on what you're working on and the progress that is building towards the goals that you have set out there. Also, having them out in a public space does keep you accountable, and I know sometimes that's a little intimidating, but it could just be as simple as the number of volunteers you're trying to get at a certain event, or the number of funds you're trying to raise. It really helps people to feel engaged, involved, and therefore also invested in what you're doing. If they make a comment on something that you've posted, it shows up then in their feed, and by nature of being viral, can also help to get you even more supporters for your project. And tied with that, again, fanning other service organizations. It just helps to broaden your network.
Okay, we can go ahead and advance the slide. And now we're going to talk about creating an event. And events are used as an event management tool and to manage event information and invitations. And events allow you to quickly create a listing, to invite people, and then to watch the word of the event spread virally out from your network of contacts. And to begin an event, you just click on Event, on Create an Event button, and you'll be asked to input your event's name and location. You are also going to need your logo handy, and you'll indicate the start and the end time. Optionally, you can also add a tagline to the event, something like you're not going to want to miss this one. It's going to be the best event ever, or something like that. You'll include your address if you like, which is optional. But the most important thing is that you set your privacy options for the event, and you have three choices. The event can be open for anyone to see. It can be closed so that anyone can see that this event exists, but the event details can only be read by those you have invited. or it can be secret, and secret events are only seen by those you invite specifically, so they won't show up in the news feed of those who are attending. And then after you set your main logistics of your event, you'll be asked to add details, and that includes a picture, category, description, as well as important rules about what your guests can and cannot do. For instance, sometimes you will allow your guests to invite other people, and you have the option of showing your guest list or not showing your guest list. Now, there's an advantage and disadvantage. Sometimes, if there are a lot of people coming, you want to show your event list so that the guest list, so that people feel as though, oh, wow, if I don't go to this event, I'm missing out on something. On the other hand, if there are only about 5 or 10 people, you may not want to show your guest list because you want to build that anticipation and you don't want them to know that the virus hasn't caught on yet. We can go ahead and advance the slide. There are different causes on Facebook. 27 million users create a general or specific cause on Facebook. And there's also a way to do online donations and, just as an FYI, urgency help. So causes are a fundraising tool, and you can also receive donations. Perhaps the best known, of course, is the cause application, which allows users to join or start causes on any number of activities, topics, or positions. And causes can be used also to raise money, accumulate support, or simply to advocate a particular position or point of view. And you can join as many causes as you like and choose a cause at any time to feature and promote on your Facebook profile. There is a Go Give application, which is a simple but effective tool that reminds you to visit the Hunger site daily. And the Hunger site, just so you know, offers a simple, clickable badge that donates food to the hungry around the world. And there's also something called the Social Vibe site, which mixes brand sponsorship with charity donations. And their Facebook application allows you to tap into their fundraising network on your Facebook profile page. And essentially, you choose a brand sponsor and a favorite charity, and users who interact with your Social Vibe application help you earn points. Now, as the organization itself, then, you can create an application where people are donating specifically to you. And now we're going to talk about group pages versus pages. And I have to be very honest with you guys because group pages and pages have overlapping features, and even those senior social marketing folks and consultants such as myself, are sometimes stumped at what to tell people. Facebook continues to make changes to how pages function, and that does not help. That complicates the matter even further. But as of today, there are a number of factors that you need to consider when choosing what is right for you and your project or your organization. So here are the basics, and I hope I'm not going to confuse you. And again, this this webinar webshop will be available for you, so you can go back and listen to this because I'm going to kind of breeze through it. But personal versus corporate. Due to their security features and size limitations, only groups under 5,000 members can send email blasts. Facebook group pages are set up for more personal interaction. Groups also directly connect to the people who administer them, meaning that activities that go on there could reflect on you personally. So when we talk about personal pages versus group pages, that's when you need to really be cognizant of what you're putting out there. But pages, on the other hand, not group pages, just pages, on the other hand, don't list the name of the administrators and are thought of as a person, almost like a corporate entity in and of itself. So have I confused you enough? I'm about to confuse you some more. Facebook consider groups to be an extension of your personal actions. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Facebook considers groups to be an extension of your personal actions. When you post something as a group administrator, it appears to be coming from you and is attached to your personal profile. So if I'm managing the Vista page on Facebook, and I post something as Danielle Ricks is not going to show up if I'm an administrator. Only the logo and the name of that page is going to pop up. So you have to be careful with your brand out there. I know I've confused you. I'm confused too. It's okay. It's okay. So now we're going to move on to pages. Now that I've totally mucked up the water, Facebook created pages when they noticed that people were trying to connect with brands and famous artists. I believe the limit is about 2,000. When you get to about 2,000, Facebook says you're way too popular and we need you to create a page. And pages can be thought of in much the same way as a normal profile on a site. A brand, a celebrity, an organization's page has the ability to have fans. They can add pictures and they can leave wall comments if they allow their fans to do that. And we talked about that a little bit before. It's up to you whether or not you want to allow your fans to have that much access to your page. And now we're going to advance the slide one more time, and I know you guys are tired of hearing from me, so I'm going to turn it over to Michelle.
All right. Thank you very much, Danielle. I was just looking at a comment from someone who is really interested in the technical aspects of setting things up. And so I do want to let you know that we do have many links at the end of this presentation, and particularly one for a video that does lead you through really quickly but very clearly the how-to of getting started. So we do want to address that, but we do want to spend some time today really looking at how folks are specifically using these pages to leverage their work within their organizations. And so with that, something that we're trying to do with the Vista Facebook page, Liz, are you still with us?
I am, yeah. Thanks, Michelle.
Sure.
So we are very excited to finally be launching Facebook pages for both Vista members and Vista alumni. And I also wanted to say a special thank you to Robin and Allie for sharing your Facebook adventures with us. I think, and I speak for myself here, and most likely for some of you, sometimes there's a little bit of a hesitancy and fear to the unknown, and some of you may be really comfortable and familiar with Facebook because of your own personal page that you use. But hopefully, if you do have any hesitancy, this workshop is helping you out, and you've already started in the right direction by learning more about what you can do and talk to others who are already utilizing their Facebook pages, so you can feel more comfortable jumping right in.
Thank you very much, Liz.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and advance the slide. And now we're going to turn the ball over to our e-project specialist, Stephanie Ross. We're so glad to have her on the call with us. She's done a fabulous job on the relaunch of the Facebook page. Are you there, Stephanie?
I am. Thank you so much. Great. So I'm going to first off share my desktop and show you what we've done. And I've also been watching some of the questions on the slide, and I can answer some of those as well. So as we go through this. So first of all, everybody can see this, right, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay, great. We are looking right now at the current Vista Facebook page, and what I want to show, we actually are about to reveal the new pages that we have created, but something to note is the title here, Volunteers in Service to America, Vista. And something when you create your Facebook page, you want to be very aware of the title of your page. And when I show you the new page, I'll show you the difference in that. But we originally put Vista in parentheses, and it caused some search issues where it was a little bit more difficult to find in the search area. So we solved that problem. But currently, the page is really happening. There's amazing comments and interactions. And as you scroll through, something I want to show is the Boxes tab, which is where your applications, like your YouTube video box, goes. The notes, we actually redid this page to make it a little bit more of a welcome page. So I'm going to move forward and reveal our new pages here. And, yay! So
Please.
Yes, this is very exciting. So what we did is we've utilized the Boxes tab, and when you create a new Facebook page, and I'm actually going to hop back over here to the old one because I want to show you a little trick. On your wall area, there's an area where you can click Options, and then Settings here, and you can select your default view for wall. So, or I'm sorry, actually, I mean the default landing page for everyone else. These are going to be people that are not currently fans on your page. So right now, the current page is set to the wall. So if I'm not a fan of Vista, I will land on the wall and see the interactions. On the new pages, we've actually switched it to the boxes. So I'm going to hop back over here. And
before you hop over, can we go back to the other page? I just want to also interject here before we take a tour of the new page. And people were talking about negative comments. And we do get negative comments, but what I will say is oftentimes if you allow your fans the space to talk amongst each other, they will quiet some of the negativity. Yes, you can delete something if it's inappropriate, but for the most part, people who are fans of your page are just that. They're fans of your page, and they really do take your mission to heart, and they talk amongst each other, and they sort of quiet the negativity. And so as administrators, and you get to decide who the administrators are going to be, you can determine whether or not something is inappropriate and you want to delete it, or if you want to leave it out there and let them talk amongst themselves. And I tell you, about 9 times out of 10, the other members will respond to the negativity and put a nice little blanket of positivity over top of it. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that was a great point. Thanks, Danielle. So we're going to hop back over to our new page here. And as you can see, I'm actually in the logged out view. So, and the thing with Facebook pages is they are public, which is great. So I'm not logged into Facebook, and I automatically land on the Boxes tab, which we are using as the introduction to AmeriCorps Vista. And first off, as I stated before, the title of the page, we actually spelled out AmeriCorps Vista and then spelled the whole name using a dash with spaces so that, you know, if somebody were to search for it, they would be able to find it easily. And another question I saw in the chat were, what are useful Facebook applications? And how we created this page is we used it's called static FBML, and you just you search for applications. When you edit your Facebook page, there's a little area where you can search, enter static FBML, and it allows you just need to know some basic HTML, which you can, they even put by links for you to easily learn the basics. And it doesn't take much, and what we did is we've added in, like here's a little Flickr slideshow that we created where you can't have Flash on here. Let me see, great. So, and it links right to the Flickr account that we have for Vista, and it'll slide through there. We've added these images here, which link directly to all of our social media sites. And we've also linked to the alumni page. We have a Twitter graphic, and we've added in some helpful update links here to we're going to keep these updated and update the links so that you can check back at any time and get the latest news. And we also have a link to our discussion board, sign up for the Viewfinder newsletter. You can access the Vista campus. And all of these were created with the static FBML application. And take a quick tour, get some Vista gear. Over here is the My AmeriCorps page where you can log on there. And this is the YouTube box, which we've used. And this is another application where it pulls in your YouTube videos. You can actually select which ones you want to appear, which I think is very useful. And another exciting announcement that we are doing is the Vista map, which is a very cool Facebook application that we have created for all of us. But I'm going to jump real quick over to the alumni page before I show you the map, and we'll come back to that. So we have the AmeriCorps Vista page, which is for the current members, and here is the alumni page. Which is the relatively, I'm sorry, if you can mute your phone. Hey, everybody.
Hello, folks. Can you please mute your phone? Because we can hear you when you're talking to your coworkers. So if you wouldn't mind, it makes it difficult. Hello?
Okay. So on the alumni page, which is under AmeriCorps Vista Alumni, we have pretty much the same setup. We have another different slideshow here, which goes to the Vista Through the Years set. It's a photo set that we have over on Flickr, and we have the icons. Pretty much it's very set up similar-like, but it's geared towards the alumni, which is Great. So I'm going to jump back over to our new page where we're going to click here and go to the Vista map, which I have already set up here. And when you click that image, which is just an image using that static SCML, you go to this Vista map application, which you can connect with Facebook. You click this button, and I'm not actually going to click it because I'm actually already logged in. But if I click that, it will give me a window where I enter in my Facebook, just my regular personal user information, and it's going to log me in. And now I'm going to see a button where I can log out of Facebook or I can add a PIN. And the goal of this application is to place a PIN for where you are serving or where you have served as a Vista. And I'm going to go ahead and click it, and I'll show you that you can enter in your information, the name of your organization, and it's already linked to your Facebook page, so it knows who you are, so you don't need to enter your name. If you've served additional terms, you just click that, and you can enter up to 3 terms. And then your PIN will appear, as I'm going to look crazy here, it'll appear on the map where you can click in and see other people serving in areas. So it's a great way to connect. I'm going to just kind of zoom in here. Use this as an example. You can click that.
Stephanie, if I can jump in here for a second.
Oh, sure.
I just want to say that Stephanie and Michelle and Danielle and lots of others have worked really hard to put this together, and we hope that it's going to be a fun tool for everybody. And obviously it's brand new because there are a lot more visitors and alumni out there than the map shows at this point. So we'd love it if you could take the time to put your pin in and help spread the word about this, because we think it'll be a really great tool for people to connect, especially, if you've just gone to PSO and you've met some people you really like and you want to stay in touch with them. This is a fun way to do that. And as well as you become an alum, it's a great way to connect with other alumni. So hopefully you all will have fun with this new tool, and we've certainly enjoyed putting it together and having it available for you.
Great. Thank you, Liz. And I just wanted to say that this is an application, an example of an application that an organization can use geared specifically towards their needs. Ross can tell you about how it was all put together in the painstaking time, but this is, when you're thinking about how am I going to use Facebook in my organization and my service and what kind of things will benefit, this is like taking it one step further, because it is really a great way and a great tool above and beyond what a lot of other organizations are using on Facebook. But we wanted to give you at least one example of how you can take it to the next step and how you can actually own some portion of Facebook and make it your own. So thank you so much, Ross. Thank you, Liz.
Oh, you're welcome.
Grab rights back from you now.
Thank you.
Stay with us, Ross. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, no problem.
We're going to have questions for you.
Of course.
So wondering now, as we pull rights back from Ross, what questions you have for Ross, myself, any of the Vistas, Liz, Michelle on the line. And we're reading the chat as we go along, folks. Sorry about that.
You can also ask a question if you'd prefer. You can unmute your line by hitting #6. Oh, I'm sorry, #0.
#0. Oh, that was...
Cheryl, someone is, sorry, Ross, Stephanie, someone is asking what is the name of the HTML application, static SELM? That's the technical stuff. That's you, Steph.
Oh, no problem, no problem. It's called, you search under static, STATIC, and then a space, and it's F as in Frank, D as in boy, M as in Mary, L as in Larry. And it'll come up, and then you just say add to your page. And then when you go to edit your page, you'll see it on there. It'll be listed in the list of applications.
So I want to remind everybody that we are going to have a chat on the Vista campus, and if we haven't gotten to all of your questions today, we are going to print them out, and we are going to be in the V Cafe on the Vista campus, and I'm sure everyone on the call is familiar with the Vista campus, but just in case you're not, we're going to have a link for you for the V Cafe at the end of this. We're going to keep this conversation going because there are far too many questions and far too many answers to fit in 60 minutes. We're doing our best, though, and we also will have a discussion. We'll have an open forum on Twitter as well, so if you guys out there in social media land are on Twitter, we'll keep the conversation going there, and again in the V Cafe on the Vista campus. So if we could...
hang on just a sec,
Yeah. Hello?
Is this Facebook social media?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. Could you possibly tell me what do I do for mute?
You want to hit *0.
*0. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Michelle's going to go over the takeaways that we hope you learned today.
Thanks, Danielle, and I know we're running close to the end of time here, so I appreciate those of you who are able to stay with us just a couple more minutes. And also, if you would, fill out the evaluation that Suzanne is posting. It should be up in a few seconds. We really do appreciate your feedback as we're just trying to improve with each session that we do here. And so today we covered quite a bit, I know, and in a little crunched period of time. So again, please follow up with your questions as we wrap up here, covering how to fan a page as an individual and also as an organization, what organizations are good to become fans of, what types of organizations rather, how to get your page recognized on Facebook and also how to draw people to your page, how to create an event, the difference between the group and the fan pages, and as Danielle said, we have those references because I know we did breeze through some of that material, and also the features of the new Vista Facebook page, which I'm not sure if we mentioned, but please do go ahead if you're on Facebook, become our fan. Also, you can become a fan of the Vista alumni page, and we hope to continue the conversation there as well. One more thing we do want to mention is as you are online, as always, what you say is still subject to the regulations of your Vista service, and that does include the Hatch Act. So just be careful about commenting or performing anything regarding political activity and lobbying during your Vista year.
And I just want to remind everybody, please, to stay safe online. Protect yourself, your company, and your organization while you're online. There are a list of some things that you need to keep in mind, include keeping your password in a secure place and not to share your password with anyone, and those various things listed. We do have some useful links that will be provided, and you can go ahead and advance the slide.
And Danielle, I'm actually going to copy and paste the link to the campus into the chat, the link to the campus forum directly into the chat so people can access it right away. So if you would take a moment to talk about the Twitter.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to continue the conversation in two spaces after this. We would like you to visit the V Cafe on the Vista campus to keep the dialogue going. And as Michelle said, she's going to copy and paste that link for you so you can click right on the link, and we'll be there for you to answer questions. Also, if you're on Twitter, the hashtag is VFPSMM, and you must use the pound sign, so it's pound VFBSMM, and you can ask questions that weren't answered in today's workshop. Then following the workshop, we're going to host a free day-long online event tomorrow. So go ahead and post your additional questions at our Twitter page, which is at VistaBuzz, and you'll see that link there. And tomorrow we'll be answering them all day long. Well, okay, not all day, but we're going to block off a good chunk of time for you to answer those questions. And also on the V Cafe. And if you have not been to the Vista campus, you're missing out, guys. Those of you who are Vistas on the phone, if you have not been there, it is an absolute wonderful place and a great place for resources. And we're going to be in the V Cafe, which is a forum talking about various things that we were not able to cover in the workshop. We can go ahead and advance the slide. A good resource for those of you who have not used Facebook before. We did not talk about the basics today, about how to start a page and how to walk you through the basics. So I did want to include this video for you. Please go to that link if you need the very, very basics on how to start a page if you've never had a page before. We can go ahead and advance the slide. I would also like to quickly say that we have 1 minute left to participate in the evaluation. So if you have yet to do so, please feel free. We would love to hear from you. Thank you.
On the following slide is a series of additional links that really take you through the how-tos, Facebook 101, etc. And this will also be available in the link to this workshop will be available in the forum in the next day or so you can get all of this information again. And lastly, we just want to thank you all for participating today and hanging with us during some of our technical challenges here, and really hope that you join us next time. We'll be talking about using Flickr and how through photo sharing you can help to build capacity for your organization or project. And that'll be January 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern.
And I'd like to put a little plug in here and say that if you are on Flickr and you are also on Twitter or Facebook, send us a note because I am looking for Vistas to be a part of that web shop. So holler at Vista Buzz and let me know if you're using Flickr. We would love to have you as part of our web shop. I'm sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
No worries. So thank you again. Please give us your feedback both on the poll and also offline. If you were able to, I included Danielle's email in the chat thread there, and we'll leave that open for a moment. Thank you again for your participation, and we really look forward to connecting with you online.
I'll see you guys in the DCAS